Knicks take on the Wizards. No KP. KP ducked the smoke. He sat out through the rest. But nevertheless, Knicks face a tough Wizards team who wouldn't quit tonight, but they came away victorious, 105-89, led by the Block Ness monster Mitchell Robinson, our new point guard Jalen Brunson, and RJ Broadway Barrett. You know, Mitch, saw some chatter about my guy Mitch over the past 2 preseason games.
They're pretty quiet in the chat.
They're pretty quiet in the chat.
In our group.
Yeah.
Group.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Slack is quiet. I did see some murmuring in the YouTube chat. I won't name names. But nevertheless, you saw the third quarter that he had against the Pacers, and you saw it in the first quarter today. 4 offensive rebounds in the first quarter alone. 9 offensive rebounds in the game. 12 boards in all. 20 points for the Block Ness monster. Best performance of the preseason. He looks to be in regular season form. Tonight, Mitch showed you why he's so valuable to this team in many respects. One, as a starter, again on the offensive glass. They were able to find him early for the lobs. Fournier found him for a Gotham lob. RJ, I believe Brunson was able to feed him, and he was able to convert well. But I think also you see that when he's not out there, the second unit is missing him tremendously. You're starting to see that with this second unit, with Hartenstein and with Obi. You miss that rim protection. Sims is not going to be out there for as many minutes, especially with the signing of a Hartenstein. And so the rebounding and the block shots and the rim protection is sorely missed when Mitch isn't out there. And it's not just blocking shots, but it's also intimidating shots, altering shots, making guys think twice before taking it into the hole. So good job by Mitch really enforcing his will out there, and he looks to be in regular season shape. On to Brunson. You know, our guys, Alan Hahn, Bill Pito, and Wiley on the MSG postgame said it best. Seems like he's been here a long time, man. I mean, of course, we still got to give these guys time to gel. It's still preseason. But as the floor general, he's taking the rock, and he's running with it. Like, yo, listen, I'm here. This is how this thing is going to orchestrate. And he's doing a solid job, man. Efficient as hell tonight. 10 of 15 from the field. 3 of 5 from downtown. 27 points. Had an excellent third quarter. 11 points in the third quarter. He was mixing it up. Finishing strong on his drives. Knocked down some nice threes. Couple in transition.
We talked about Randall, you know, in the past in terms of the previous teams. As Randall goes, the Knicks go. Think that may change this season in terms of as Brunson goes, the Knicks go. You saw last game, right, CP? Last game, he didn't shoot as well from the floor, and his game is efficiency. And then you saw how last game, the way the offense and the starting line, it just didn't sync. Well, that to me, after you see what happens tonight when he's 10 of 16 and 3 of 5 from 3, you just see how just everything just clicks. And then the respect level that the defense gives to him allows for other players to get better shots. And that's how you're going to see his leadership. You know, he has 5 assists. He's not going to be, an 8, 9, 10 assist guy. But by him, being so efficient and then being a threat in isolation, it's just going to naturally flow into everyone else getting shots. He's going to be one of the players we're going to lean on, I think, especially in close games, because he's just so experienced, even as a young player at only 26 years old.
No question about it. And you saw a nice outlet, a nice dime to RJ in the corner, you know, off of some Brunson passes, off of the Brunson drives, which I believe is going to be another strength. You know, the gravity, the attention that he demands or commands on his drives, it's going to open things up, man. It's going to open things up for RJ, Julius, whether it's 48 Grimes. Everybody's going to be able to benefit off of that. And I believe you said it on a previous show. You know, the fact that other teams are going to have to take this guy seriously as a point guard and guard him. You know, we've heard it in the offseason, the amount of respect that he's gotten across the league for his talent and his skill set. A lot of guys say, you know, don't sleep on this guy. The fact that he's going to make other point guards in this league work. Ja Morant's going to get tested. Trae Young is going to get tested. So that's going to be another plus for us, man, just having another threat out there at the point of attack. Let's talk about RJ, man. The shot is looking good. RJ coming into this game shooting 50% from three. Another efficient night for RJ, man. 6 of 13 from the field, 4 of 7 from downtown, 3 of 5 from the stripe, 19 points, 12 rebounds for RJ, 2 dimes. And look, yes, it's only preseason, but look, he's looking like the guy that was averaging 24 and 6 in the second half last year.
And you said the second half, and from the three-point line, CP, he's looking like the guy from 2 years ago at 40%.
That's right.
You know, going into tonight, he was shooting 47% from three, and with 4 or 7 from three tonight, that's only going to tick up a little bit. So, you know, he's going to go into the season in 4 games shooting over 47% from three. And to me, that's one of the biggest positives,
Big
CP,
time.
because, you know, it's preseason, but now the real thing starts. And the Grizzlies are going to look at this and they're going to try to find ways, you know, okay, Brunson, you know, is good, but what do we do with the rest of the team? You know, who are we going to leave open, or who do we attack more? But RJ's a wing player. That's another player in the perimeter. So when your perimeter players can shoot, it just makes it much easier for your point guard to operate. And him showing improvement this early, because again, it's preseason, but guess what? If he would have struggled from three, tonight's show, we would have been saying, you know, we're still seeing, we don't know, will his shooting come around during the season? So although it's preseason, I'd rather see what I've seen, because that also tells me that he worked really hard this offseason. Shout out to Drew Hanlon. And, you know, I can't wait to see it, you know, transfer hopefully into the season. He just looks a little bit more polished. He looks more comfortable. Again, we talked about, you know, Brunson having that effect. It just seems like with Brunson there, he just feels like he has a little bit more pressure and he can just focus on other areas just because he doesn't have the pressure to be the only playmaker, you know, as far as the starting lineup.
Look, after this preseason, it's looking pretty good. I think we've all expected RJ Barrett to make a jump. I think what we didn't expect is for Mitchell Robinson to play this well. Mm-hmm. And I think that could be a major X factor in where we land. If Mitchell Robinson continues on this track, I don't know, man. We may be in for a treat. Now, I'm not saying that we're playoff locks. We're still a play-in team.
Yeah.
By the way, my number is 45.
Okay.
My number is 45. And we're going to be a play-in team. But if Mitchell Robinson really steps up, I don't know, man. That could be really dangerous for this team. I mean, I did some calculations already for the preseason. Our pace is up by 5 points. Everyone knows that we were at bottom 3 pace.
Let's go.
So with the past
break
4
it down,
games,
Sam. Somebody in the chat called him Statmaster Sam. Let's go, Sam. Let's break down the numbers, man. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, these past 4 preseason games, we're top 10 in pace if we compare it to last season. And big mention, Julius Randle's usage percentage went down 8%. That's huge. We're down from 28% to 21%. That's close to league average.
I like that one.
You know,
yeah,
stars stars get around 28% usage percentage. I don't know, man. I got 45. I think we get 8, 9, 7 if we're lucky.
I just want to say, like, obviously it's the preseason, so let's not get overly excited. I'm going to go right into what you guys are asking. The record, I got them at 42, 43 wins. I think that puts us, I know there was like about 4 teams last year that was 50+. I still got those 4 teams. I don't think it's the Celtics. I swapped the Celtics out. I think it's the Bucks, Sixers, Nets, and then maybe the Cavs or the Heat. Maybe one of those as a top 4. But I got us in that 6, 7, 8 range. I think now that I watched all 4 games, and yes, they were all different in different ways, but the thing that I could see from the starting 5 is that Jalen Brunson and RJ Barrett, their efficiency, like RJ Barrett averaged 15 shots for these 4 games. Yeah. Shout out to Sam. Sam is a stat guy. RJ Barrett right now in his sleep is averaging like 22 points. So if that monitor stays the same, then hopefully I think that'll be the ascension for us. With that being said, man, I think this team, like Sam said, the offensive rating is much better. They're in the 4 games, their uptick in pace is good. My biggest 2 questions for this season, and it's still they get answered. Even though Evan played a good game, I'm still worried about this wing position. It's
Yeah.
funny. We finally got a point guard, and now we don't have that wing position. We're 2 pieces away from being a real threat in the East, but we need to solidify that wing position. I don't know if that's with Grimes. I mean, obviously everybody knows how they feel about Cam Reddish, but I think that ship has sailed. Just looking long term, Evan Fournier can't guard me on a fast break. So like when I'm looking at the Jason Tatums and the Jaylen Browns, the DeMar DeRozans, when Middleton comes back, you obviously got KD and Ben.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about how much that goes towards RJ Barrett. You know what I mean?
Oh, it will.
Yeah. So with that being said, I like Jalen Brunson was more than advertised. He's kind of the constant flow. Julius Randle, I know how we feel about Julius, but from these 4 preseason games, he's buying in. So until he goes ballistic, I gotta support the brother. And with that being said, man, I said it earlier on Twitter. It's house money, man. If we lose, then hey, you get a top 10 pick in a draft where there's top 14 players, top 15 maybe. But with that being said, if they win, then you get to balance it out. I'm not really expecting too high or too low this season. Like you said, CP, I think you illustrated that perfectly. Just let the chips fall where they be, man.